Yes, you can travel to Thailand in 2021, and there are 3 ways to enter the country as of July. Before we start, I just want to mention today is 25th or 26th of July, and by the time you're watching this video, the information may be out of date. You can enter Thailand on a visa exemption. Basically, Thailand has an agreement with other countries where the citizens of those countries can arrive to Thailand without a visa for tourism for a short period of time. At the moment, it's 45 days. I will leave the link with the list of the countries in the description below. If you can't enter Thailand on a visa exemption, you will have to apply for a visa with your local Thai embassy. You can apply for a tourist, marriage, retirement, work permit, whatever visa you can get and you think you will need. The land borders are closed at the moment, so the only way you can enter Thailand is by plane. The first way to enter Thailand is to fly into Bangkok and spend 2 weeks in quarantine. Anyone who can obtain a visa or visa exemption can do this, and you don't need to be vaccinated. Once you get your visa sorted, before your trip you will need to apply for a certificate of entry. Basically, it's an online application form which will permit you to enter Thailand. Once you pass the first stage of the application, you will need to submit the booking of your flight, the booking of your hotel, your COVID insurance, and the COVID tests that you need to pay for in advance. COVID insurance is health insurance that will cover your COVID treatment if you will need it at some point of your trip. Minimum coverage required is $100,000. Also, you will need a negative PCR test within 72 hours of your trip. Once in Bangkok, the hotel should arrange transport to pick you up from the airport and take you to your room, where you will spend 2 weeks in quarantine without alcohol. Yes, no alcohol. I know. With most of the hotels, you won't be able to leave that room for the next 2 weeks. After 2 weeks in quarantine and 2 negative COVID tests, you will get a certificate that will allow you to travel anywhere in the country on that day. You will have to arrange your own transport. The cost of 2-week quarantine in ASQ hotel starts from 26,000 baht, and the COVID insurance starts with 2,700 baht. Alright, so that's the first way you can enter Thailand. Now the second and third is Phuket Sandbox and Samui Plus schemes. They're very similar schemes, so I'll cover them together. To enter Phuket and Samui, you need to be fully vaccinated at least 2 weeks before your trip. Also, you need to be traveling from a low-risk country approved by Tourism Authority of Thailand. I will drop a link in the description to their website. You'll be able to find more information about these schemes and also the mentioned list. Similar requirements apply to these two schemes as well. You will need to apply for a visa or visa exemption. You will need to apply for a certificate of entry, confirm your flight booking, hotel booking, COVID insurance, and pay for COVID tests. The difference between Phuket Samui schemes and Bangkok is that you won't have to do a hard 2-week quarantine. With Phuket and Samui, you will only have to spend 4 days in the hotel, and you will be free to wander the hotel and use all of its amenities, like swimming pool, gym, and whatever the hotel has to offer. On the 4th day, once your negative COVID test arrives, you will be able to leave the hotel and travel designated routes on the island. On the 8th day, you will be free to travel the island. Now the difference between Phuket and Samui: in Samui, on the 8th day, you will be allowed to travel to Koh Phangan and Koh Tao. After 2 weeks and your second negative COVID test, you will be able to travel Thailand. With all 3 entry methods, once you arrive in Thailand, you will have to install an app and share your location. If you're traveling with kids, you will need to provide a negative COVID test 72 hours prior to departure for the kids as well. There is one negative aspect with Phuket Sandbox and Samui Plus schemes. If you test positive for COVID on arrival, you will have to move to an ASQ hotel and spend 2 weeks in quarantine, and you will have to pay out of your own pocket. Now the chances of that happening are very slim, but it still may happen, which can ruin your holiday. So I would advise to travel to Phuket or Samui for a longer period of time. There is a link in the description for the online certificate of entry application. Also, there's a link to Tourism Authority of Thailand website where you can find more information on Phuket Sandbox and Samui Plus schemes. If you found this video useful and you would want to hear more information about travel updates in Thailand, please leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. That would help me a lot. I will see you soon in Koh Tao.